Hello, welcome to Football Focus, your number one destination for the latest football news, transfer updates, match analysis, breaking stories, and everything happening around the football. If you're new in this channel, please remember to subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any important football updates. Part 2, the master plan of Hansi Flick, building a new Barcelona dynasty. As excitement grew around the possible arrivals of Alessandro Bastoni and Julian Alvarez and the decision to keep Joao Cancelo, one man remained calm: Hansi Flick. The German coach understood something that many supporters and journalists often forget. Big names alone do not win trophies. Teams do. Chemistry does. Discipline does. Belief does. Inside Barcelona's training complex, Flick was already preparing for the future. Every session, every tactical meeting, every conversation with players, everything had one objective: create a team capable of dominating Europe, not for one season, for many years. The rise of a new generation. Barcelona's greatest strength was not only in the transfer market, it was already inside the club. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, Pau Cubarsí, Fermín López. A generation filled with extraordinary talent. These young stars represented the future, but talent alone is never enough. Young players need guidance. They need leaders. They need warriors who have already experienced football's biggest battles. That is exactly why players like Joao Cancelo and Alessandro Bastoni were considered so important. Flick wanted his young stars to learn from winners, to learn how to handle pressure, to learn how to fight when things become difficult. Because the road to greatness is never easy. Cancelo's new mission. For Joao Cancelo, staying at Barcelona was not simply about football, it was about legacy. The Portuguese defender knew many people still doubted him. Throughout his career, he had played for some of Europe's biggest clubs, yet critics often questioned whether he could become a true club legend. Barcelona offered him that opportunity. Hansi Flick had a special role in mind: not only a defender, not only an attacker, but a leader, someone capable of helping young players understand what it takes to succeed at the highest level. Every training session, Cancelo's intensity stood out. He demanded excellence. He pushed teammates harder. He encouraged younger players. Slowly, he became one of the most respected voices in the dressing room. And Barcelona needed exactly that. The arrival of the wall, meanwhile, negotiations for Alessandro Bastoni continued. The Italian defender followed every development closely. He understood the importance of the decision. Leaving Inter Milan would not be easy. The club had given him unforgettable memories: trophies, Champions League nights, victories against Europe's elite. But Barcelona represented something different. A new challenge, a new adventure, a new dream. Reports suggested that Bastoni had already begun imagining himself wearing Blaugrana colours, walking onto the Camp Nou pitch, hearing the roar of thousands of supporters, defending one of football's most famous shirts. For a player obsessed with competition, the challenge was impossible to ignore. The missing piece. Then came the biggest question: who would score the goals? Barcelona possessed talent all over the pitch. But every great team needs a striker capable of deciding matches. A player who can transform one opportunity into one goal into one victory into one trophy. That is why Julian Alvarez fascinated everyone inside the club. The Argentine possessed a rare quality. He never stopped working, whether pressing defenders, making runs, creating chances, or scoring goals. His energy was relentless. Many inside Barcelona believed he perfectly matched the identity Hansi Flick wanted to build: fast, aggressive, fearless, hungry, a player willing to sacrifice everything for victory. Europe starts to worry as rumours intensified. Reactions across Europe became impossible to ignore. Supporters of rival clubs laughed publicly, but privately, many were concerned, because football history had taught them one lesson: never underestimate Barcelona. The club had risen before, from the era of Johan Cruyff to the dominance of Pep Guardiola, to the unforgettable years of Lionel Messi. Barcelona had always found a way to return. And now signs of another rise were appearing. The ingredients were there: elite young talents, experienced leaders, world-class coaching, strategic recruitment. The foundation of something special was beginning to take shape. The dream of Camp Nou. Far away from transfer negotiations and media speculation, Barcelona supporters shared a common dream: a full Camp Nou, Champions League music, the stadium lights shining, the world watching, Bastoni commanding the defence, Cancelo racing down the flank, Pedri controlling possession, Lamine Yamal producing moments of magic, and Julian Alvarez delivering goals when they mattered most. The image felt almost cinematic, yet football has a way of turning dreams into reality. The question was no longer whether Barcelona had ambition. Everyone could see that. The real question was whether this new generation could transform ambition into trophies. Only time would provide the answer. But one thing was becoming increasingly clear. The sleeping giant was waking up,